Welcome to my channel. This is Muli. So this lesson is for those people who will be writing their G12. I'll give you a guide on how you should be studying or how you should be answering questions in the exam paper. Just take some minute and also subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out other videos which I'll be sharing to you guys. So this is 2021 past paper. So before I go in further, I'll just give you a quick review on how you can be studying so that you are able to answer this question. So as you can see, this is a 40 marks section A also. So you need to understand biology. Basically you'll be studying living things, though it also includes some non-living things, because in this world things exist, either living or non-living things. How do you differentiate them? It's the help of what? Characteristics also, because living things have certain characteristics which non-living things do not have. So no wonder we're able to define and also able to differentiate living things from non-living things. So what are those characteristics which living things have, which non-living things do not have? So we just use this mnemonic for you to remember. So these each letter here represent the characteristics which a living thing has. So like this one, this is movement, production, growth, respiration, eatability, feeding, and so on. Like then the C there represent what? Cells. You see? So from there now, that's when we now start looking at each characteristics in different. Are we together? Yes. So then when it comes to living things, normally we focus on what? Plants and what? And animals. That is our main focus. So what you look at in plants, you also look at in what? In animals, because there are certain similarities, though some certain at some extent there are some differences. So like for instance, the first characteristics, so about cells. So you need to know there are two types of what? Cells: animal cell and plant cell. You see? Then from there you see what are the differences and what are the similarities. Once you're able to do that, it will be easy for you to understand what? Biology. Then from there now you need to understand that a cell is a what? It's a basic unit of the living thing. That's where a thing starts from. A living thing, that's where it starts from. Then when these cells, let's say 5, 7, 8, 10 groups themselves, they are called what? A tissue. Those are just cells. No wonder most of you get confused with that question. They ask you that explain why a bone is considered as a living tissue. No wonder, have you seen? They use the term living. So in other words, they are telling what are the characteristics of living things. So just mention a bone grows. Yeah, it feeds, those things. So I've also given you a hint on how to answer that question. So from there, tissues, when tissues group themselves, they make up what? Organs. Then from there, organs, when they group themselves, they make up a system. Then a system, then an organism. Now that is now what is called a plant or an animal. It all comes from where? A cell. But I've explained much more in detail in my other video. I'll share this video also where I was explaining such things. So I'm just giving you an overview. Then from there, you need to understand that a cell, it is very tiny. You can't see it with your naked eyes. Then what are you supposed to use to see that those cells? You need to use what? A microscope. How does it look under a microscope? Then after that, you need to know the parts of the microscope and how to use it. And each time when you put something under a microscope, it's called what? A specimen. Those are the things which you need to what? To know. Once you understand that, it will be easy for you. Then from there, what happens to cells if you put them in different solutions? What happens? Because there are different solutions: hypertonic, then hypertonic, then there is also isotonic. Also, need to understand what happens when you put a plant cell or animal cell in a hypertonic solution, and need to understand what are these the solutions themselves. So like an hypertonic solution, it contains a lot of water, meaning that it can easily the water which is in that solution can move to go into what? The plant cells. Or the hypotonic plant, the water can easily move from that cell, go into what? To that solution. It will make sense as I will be going through this question. So let's go through in this question so that you understand what I will be explaining to you. Hopefully that overview has made sense to you. So like this question, they are saying that a figure shows freshly cut potato chips. So you need to know, potato chips, is it a plant or animal? It's a plant, so all your focus should be to plants. there. Then what are they saying? Suspended in solution. So it was put in solutions, E and F. Okay, so you expect that the solutions have to have different solutions. So no wonder the experiment will make sense. Then at the beginning, then after 2 hours, what happened? So here it is at the beginning, those potato chips were put. Okay, then afterwards, that was the result. So we can be able to know what solution is this and also that solution. So like the first one, explain the difference. Here they are saying you explain the difference in appearance. So here we're just focusing the appearance on what? Potato chips in the solution E and also in F after 2 hours. So you talk about E, solution E. So you see, after 2 hours, it reduced in what? In size. Then what is the explanation? It lost water. So that's what you need to know. So the difference, the first difference is that it reduced in size. When you look at this, at first the way it was the size, it reduced in size, the potato chips in solution E after 2 hours. The explanation is it lost what? Water to the what? To the solution. Water was moving outside that this potato chip. Then for the other one, solution F, what happened? It increased in size. That's the appearance explanation, because it gained what? Water. That's how you get your 4 marks. Then what are they saying here? Based on the appearance of the potato chips in solution E after 2 hours, what term could be used to describe? You are describing the what? The solution E. So what solution could be E? Look at what did it cause? It caused what? This one to shrink, the potato chip to shrink. So this solution is what? Hypertonic, because an hypertonic solution, it's a one which it does what? Accepts water. Then this one gives off water. Then this one, nothing changes. That's how you can remember this. Then the other question, what are they saying? What would be the state of cells in the potato chips in solution F after 2 hours? So they'll become Digidity when they gain a lot of water. That's what you need to know. Then what is the importance of Digidity? It's the one which makes cells to grow rigid and also upright. So no wonder a cell it doesn't have water, it will look very weak if you have observed before how plants look. Then what is what? Explain the meaning of the term isotonic. I've already explained this. Is this solution which has what? Equal concentration of water molecules of solutes, no? So yeah, so that's what you need to know about this. So let us see the other question. So this is question 2. Then the other thing which I want you to know is that know the nutrients. This is also the other characteristics of what? Animals. They feed. So know the nutrients, the starch and others. Now you need to understand that these, they do come from where? Somewhere. These are the complex things. They have also building blocks, what we call building blocks. Like proteins come from peptides. Starch comes from where? Monosaccharides. When the monosaccharides group themselves, that's what you need to know. They are building blocks for it to just become a complex thing. Then you need to know the test and also how you observe them, then also the conclusion. If you're able to understand that, it will be easy for you to have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. Then you need to understand in both lines, plants and animals, if such nutrients are not present, what would cause, what would be the result, and diseases which can come out of that. It's very important. So like, let us look at this question. You complete the the spaces. So like this one, they are saying immunification. So this could be fat or lipid also, and you need to know the difference, fat and lipid. What's the difference? Should try out. Then there they are saying that what precipitates were formed. So meaning that it was present here, the lipids or the fats. Then when it comes to proteins, the agent which they use is that. Then when you combine with it, then what do you expect? Bluish, something bluish or violet, if the proteins are present. This is how you fill in that for you to get your 4 marks. Then from there, which nutrient in the table would cause kwashiorkor if lacking in the body, in the human body? It's proteins, you need to know. Then name the nutrient not in the table which helps prevent constipation. Those are fibers like mangoes, so you need to know all this. Then the other question they are saying that state 2 deficiency diseases in plants. So like animals, also plants do have what? Diseases. Like for instance, if a plant doesn't have enough nutrients, like for growth, especially the proteins and others, to be stunted. So that's one of the diseases. Then the other one is what? Chlorosis. So there are many more. You can search more. Just like human beings also encounter such. Also plants, when they lack such things, they do undergo such things. So hopefully this has made sense to you.